you guys, it's Rachel here with Senza Cane Corso. So I'm out here with Don Juan. And I wanted to do a video today talking about something very important. And don't mind that trailer back there. I'm having the roof replaced on the barn. A tree fell on it. And they're replacing the roof. Donnie boy! So, good grief. Alright, so, this has happened a couple times now, and so I need to make a video about it. And not just for my own customers, but for anybody who's thinking about getting a Corso, particularly a male Corso from on the larger side. So, come on. Back over here. Good boy. Good boy. So this dog right here is my largest dog. Used to be Mad Mortigan. Now it's this guy. This is Don Juan. We call him Donnie Boy. And he's a huge dog. The one thing about video is that it just doesn't do justice. That's the one thing I always hear, is that the video. No, this is Donnie Boy. You want to help me though? Yeah, I want to show how big he is. Because you can't really see on video. It's like a thing. And the reason why I want you to see this is not because I want to brag. Because you guys know that I could probably do a lot more to emphasize. In fact, actually, I am going to be doing better about marketing my dogs. Because I keep hearing that from people. And and so Reese's brother, I asked him if he would help me film. Because he's very well versed. And by the way, you guys, it's Savannah's birthday. She's officially 18 years old today. How does it feel to officially be an adult?
Calcium in my bones is strong.
What's up, big dog? So,
Stop.
So, anyway, try to show how big he is. Try to get him to, I guess I should get... No, get him to not stack, but just... No, don't jump on me. Oh goodness. Get your butt back over here now. So Don Juan is the one, when we have 6-foot kennels, right? Don Juan can easily reach to the top of the kennel when he's standing up. Donnie boy! Don Juan, come! Let's go! Oh, he's a bad dog. We've got a female in heat. Come on, Donnie boy, let's go! Come! He's peeing on my plants. I'm going to have to rinse that off after he's done because that's bad for the plants. Don Juan, come. Let's go. Now. Come on. Let's go. Good boy. Good boy. Yes. So yeah, will you shut that gate so he doesn't run off again? And I'll kind of keep him distracted. So my point in trying to show you how big of a dog this dog is that he's still very much a puppy. I don't even think he's 2 years old yet. And so has not even begun to fill out yet. He's very tall, he's very lanky right now, but as those of you who have been watching a long time know, even Batista was like that, and he's also filled out. And so anyway, my point to all of this is that Corso are not like any other breed, and they're very much like a Ferrari, like a supercar, right? Like if you've ever driven a vehicle with a turbo or anything, you know that you have to put premium gasoline in it. You cannot just put whatever you want. And a Corso is like that. A Corso requires premium gasoline, and it requires very specific amounts of things and levels. And so I've had a lot of people recently who are trying to feed a good food, but then it's almost like they're throwing everything and the kitchen sink at the dog. So not only are they feeding you know, a high protein, high calcium, high fat diet, but in kibble, but they're also then supplementing with raw, and they're supplementing with organ meats, and they're just doing all this stuff. And I call it like loving the dogs to death. And the thing about it is that what ends up happening, so there's two ways that you can really mess up a Corso's joints from an environmental standpoint. One is nutrition, and the other one is inappropriate exercise. And when it comes to nutrition, there's two ways, I would say three ways that you can really mess up a dog. The first one is to have too high of a calcium content in the food. The second one is to have too much of a calorie-dense food. So the dog is just getting way too much nutrition, like calories in one moment. And so the dog is, they'll experience accelerated growth. Same thing if the calcium is too high. And then the other way is obviously overfeeding the dog and the dog being overweight. So I've seen dogs that were overweight and fed too calorie dense of a food. And we're experiencing accelerated growth. Oh, really? You think you're that smart? You're just going to go through the door? Mm-hmm. Yeah, he really did. He thought so. Smart boy, though. So, so like I said, we've seen people that have fed, just like I said, really high protein, fat. Like they think they're doing the right thing. They're buying the most expensive, not the most expensive food, but like, for example, if I say to a person to feed Victor, oh no, it's a baby bird. So if I say to a person, isn't that interesting how he saw it and then he literally left it alone? How cool. Oh my God, it's so adorable. Oh my God. Yes. Yeah.
Can it fly?
Don Juan. No, Donnie boy, get out of it. Move.
You think it's
Where'd it go?
mom?
It's probably its mom making that sound. I wish there was somewhere for us to put it.
There's a hole right there.
No, you don't put it in a hole, you weirdo.
It's not like a deep hole. It's just like a slight divot in the ground. In fact, there's a...
No.
It looks like a nest. Look at that.
Get out of there. Let me look.
Tell me they don't look like a nest right there.
Actually, that does kind of look like a nest.
You walk out of your nest, you just said I'm leaving.
Dude, it's so cute.
Donnie, don't. Watch out.
I wish we could do something for it. Oh, where did it go? I've missed it again. There we go. I keep looking at it with my eyes. See, that's the cool thing about Corso is they don't have high prey drive. There's a lot of breeds that would have immediately seen that and ate it. He did not. He saw it, messed with it just for a moment and left it alone, walked away. Pretty cool feature about the Corso. Sweet little baby bird.
No,
well, we're just going to leave him alone and we'll keep the dogs away from here for now. And I bet you it'll be fine. It looks like it's fledging, like it's trying to fly. I bet you it'll be fine on its own. So like I said, I've seen people whose dogs were at a proper weight, but the diet was wrong and the dog was experiencing accelerated growth. The way that I know that is because it was a Velocity son. I have direct contact with another person who, well, everybody obviously who has puppies out of the litter, and I'm able to track the weight, and I'm in close contact with a person who's got a second pick male out of there that's just he's first pick actually. First pick male out of that litter that we've got for breeding. So point being that I'm familiar historically with how fast Velocity's puppies grow, and I have a daughter out of it, and I'm in contact with other people. So I have the mean average both historically and relevant to that specific litter. So I know exactly how big those dogs are. So when I see and I hear back that this dog is much larger, then my question becomes, okay, what are you feeding the dog? And of course, without even knowing, that's why I asked, and without even knowing, I was able to identify that this dog was not being fed a proper diet. Now, 2 people I had this happen with. One of them immediately was like, oh my God, I didn't know, whatever, no big deal. Do you have a recommendation? I recommended the right food, and it was no harm, no foul. The second person argued with me and talked over me to the point where I literally got off the phone with them and voided their contract. Because this is the thing, is that in the same way that if you purchase a vehicle, or let's say that you buy that supercar, that Ferrari from Ferrari, and you take it and you go put regular gas in it, they're not going to cover that damage. That is, you did that. You did not take care. You did not do your due diligence. And especially if it was still, you brought it in and they identify a problem and then you argue with them. It's like, absolutely not. You will not hold me financially responsible for a problem that you have caused. And because I'm the one that has the warranty on the dog. Ooh. So, my whole thing is that I'm not going to take the dog from you, whatever, it's your dog. And if you want to mess it up, I guess it's your dog to mess up, but, I will not be held responsible for it. And so, don't you hit me, boy. Watch out, Savannah. And so, so the important thing to remember is that you should not be feeding a Corso, anything over like a 1.2 or 1.3 calcium, 1.0 phosphorus, and really and preferably you do want to keep your protein down to like 26%. The fat content can be anywhere between 14 to 18%. That's fine. But really and truly, you don't, the calcium can be too high and it can be too nutritionally dense, and it just causes them to grow too fast. And the problem is that what ends up happening is that the bone growth is not good. So the bones will grow too fast, so they won't have the same density that they would have. And then on top of that, you also get what's called abnormal bone growth, which is where the hip joint will literally not form properly. So these dogs' bones are, they're not finished growing when they're puppies. So a lot of that is going to be happening as you're raising that dog. So you have to be mindful of what you put in them. And you might think to yourself that more is better, but it's actually not. Less is more with the Corso. So don't feed too high of nutrient dense food. Do not feed too high of calcium. Do not feed too often. That's another thing. There was a recent study that came out that showed that dogs fed once a day were healthier. And so you want to feed your dog once a day, once he gets to an age where you can do that. Puppies, you do obviously want to feed them more than that. But once they get to where they're closer to like 3 to 4 months old, you do want to break it up and get back down to a once a day feeding. I feed at the very end of the day. It's the last thing that they do before they go to bed. And I have really good results with that. So don't do this thing where you're feeding them 3 or 4 times a day because you don't want them to be hungry. Don't be doing this thing where you're giving them all kinds of supplements and all kinds of this and that, because you're going to create a problem. Like, as they say, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So, really less is more with this breed. And, because you don't want to ruin the dog, and you absolutely can. So, it does make, like, accelerated growth does make them grow faster, but it does not make them bigger than they would have already gotten. It just makes them get to their ultimate size faster and creates a weaker, more fragile dog in the end. Not only that, but when you get that high calcium, like this one customer of mine was feeding really super high calcium. I think it was like 3%, like 3 point something percent, almost 4% calcium, super high protein. And then they were supplementing with raw and like all this stuff. And, that poor dog, I'm not gonna lie, he may not recover. Like, I'm just gonna be honest with you. We're trying, but it may have just been too much damage. So, you really have to be mindful about this stuff. There are multiple studies that have been done on this. So this isn't just, people's opinions or people's personal experience. There are actual studies that have been done on this using dogs and literally giving these puppies certain amounts of calcium and stuff like that to really determine the effects that it has on them. So this is actual science. Same thing with feeding them once a day. So anyway, just wanted to kind of, good boy, just wanted to kind of put that out there for you guys, that, with these big dogs comes big responsibilities. You don't have to feed a super expensive food. In fact, I have actually found that the more expensive the food, the less appropriate it is for Corso. Usually they have these super high calcium levels, and it's just like, people have just gotten to where they think that the higher the level, the better the food. And unfortunately, they're ruining a lot of dogs. So if you've had a dog with hip dysplasia before, maybe you might want to look at what you were feeding and see if maybe you might want to, reconsider and think differently in the future. So, anyway, I guess that's all I got to say about that. So, hope you guys are having a good day. Hope you enjoyed getting to hang out with the sweet baby. Oh, with the sweet baby Donnie boy. Sweet boy. Sweet boy. Yeah, sweet baby boy. Yeah. And I'm going to take Savannah out to dinner for her birthday. So Morgan's going to meet up with us.
Oh, is she?
Yep. So anyway, what? Yep, she did her hair, you guys. She did her hair. So we switched. I went blonde and she's a redhead, but I'm about to go back to red because blonde is too high maintenance. And I don't find that it, I know that it makes me look younger. People are saying it lightens me up, but I think that the red, like a light red, is just as efficient as that. So anyway, that's all. Hope you guys are having a good day, and I'll talk at you later. Bye.